Do we have some people in chat? This is gonna be interesting. All right, let's have a look. So, let's see if this works now. Hello. As you can probably tell, this is not the stream overlays that you are used to. I'm looking at everything and hoping that it looks okay. This is the first time I'm in this type of setup. You might notice that this does not look like the usual background that I have, and that the reason for that is because I'm at the office. You can actually be at the office these days, so I'm back here now, and it feels good. We actually have some people from the Blaston team as well at the office, so I'm not by myself, even though people are going home. In the background, I can see people leaving. But I'll be here, and today we're going to take a look at the tier list for Blaston. If you haven't tuned into any streams before, I'm the Community Manager Defur, and I have been doing... I think this is going to be the third tier list, and if you're new to what tier lists are, then you're in for a treat, because tier lists is basically a start of the discussion to take a look at metas in games and what you rank different things. And for Blaston, we rank the weapons, because those are the most important aspects of the game. And since the last tier list, we have had a new weapon added. We have also had a lot of changes to the game, so I'm just going to make sure to check that everything is working properly, because this is a new setup for me as well. So, but I hope everyone's having a good day. I saw that Wesso is here in chat, so I'm not sure if anyone else is, but hello if you're new to the stream. Let's see if... Am I streaming to Blaston? Is everything actually working? Can you hear me properly? Would be a shame if if I made an entire tier list and no one was here to hear it, you know, that would be super sad. Oh, we have Tilbet in chat as well. I hope you like my I hope you like my stream setup that I've concocted in like a few minutes. I do have a pretty cool camera. You can see it has the blur stuff. Hello, Bounty Snipe. Hello, Camped, I think is the right way to say it. So things are blurry in the background as well. But yeah, this is just something I made up in a few minutes. It'll probably look better in a future version. The lamp brings out your eyes. Oh, thank you. I also have the key light, the Elgato key light on my face, so hopefully that helps as well. So yeah, I don't think we're gonna wait too much longer. To start things off, since the last tier list, we had a new update, which is the quick draw update. A lot of things was introduced to this update. We have a new seasonal mode in the game now, so it's been really fun to see people kind of playing around with that, being cowboys, introducing Taylok, which is a character from a new faction in the game. He looks a bit different than the others that you've seen before, and you would know this if you have looked at the Blaston wiki, which you can find at wiki.blaston.com. So it's been really fun to see it, and we also introduced the Swarm, which is a new weapon, a charged weapon, and we can actually take a look at... I'm looking to the left because I have a giant TV which has what I'm supposed to present on it. That is as professional as I could have made this. Okay, so don't judge me or anything. So let's take a look at that. So this is from the wiki. Let's see, here we go. And we can take a look at the things that have been added to the game from the last update, just to kind of recap a bit. So yeah, the seasonal mode was obviously the biggest change, where we introduced a new queue to the game, so you're no longer only playing in ranked. Is the music... Yeah, let's lower the music a tiny bit more. There we go. Yes, so we introduced the quick draw mode, and also the legendary skin for the Raptor, which is called the Dead Ringer. I don't think I've actually seen anyone play with it yet, because it's still a mission reward and you have to, like, you know, fight and complete the missions to actually be able to use it. Same with Taylok. I haven't seen anyone using it yet, but it's soon about to change, and I'm really excited for that. And of course the Swarm. we also did a balance update, and this was a big balance update. So we changed a bunch of things in this update, and a lot of them, you can see the list just kind of keeps going here. So we even divided into this 2 sections here, and the reasoning is because we basically updated the health of each weapon when you throw it. So it's a kind of complicated if you're new to Blaston, but there's different parts of like if the weapon is being thrown, if you're holding it, and whatnot. And one part of the stats of the weapons is the health of the weapon when you drop it. So the opposing projectiles can shoot at either the player or the weapons. So and a very kind of popular tactic that came out of this was a technique called drop blocking, where you very quickly drop the weapon in front of projectiles, almost like a shield, which is really cool. We saw a lot of players kind of utilize this in a really great way. And so, but we also saw a lot of players using this a lot, and to an extent where we felt that it was maybe a bit too strong. So this drop blocking balancing basically kind of lowered the health of a lot of the weapons so that it wasn't as prominent as it used to be. Of course, we're always updating and balancing the game with future updates too. So how we see people play now is also a way for us to kind of find out how we will improve things later. Bounty says, I actually wonder what the Raptor E legendary skin would look like. So you have used it in the game, but you in the quick draw mode, but it will be more similar to the Raptor gun in the regular mode. Besides the drop blocking balancing, we did a lot of different things. The Raptor lips got a bit of an edge now when it how it curves. We also did a lot of, there's so many changes here, I can't almost, go through them. But I think one of the bigger changes was the spawn costs for the grenades, which was, if you don't know what that is, it's basically the cooldown. So if you use a weapon and then throw it, then, it takes some time for it to spawn back in. So now we kind of lowered that, and so you can use the grenades a bit more often. We also changed the reload time of the Viper, which was pretty big, I think. I don't think the collision of Vandal was like too big, but it's still there, The Hurricane, that was a big change of the gravity on the projectiles increasing, so they're falling faster. Hello, Crazy Guy. I love that you have Crazy in your nickname because of these suggestions with that we got in the Discord the other day with an ant and a frog gun. It was very interesting to read through those, I have to say, and a lot of the devs thought so too. Some other changes that were very kind of big were the shields, so the Aegis and Cortex shield. The duration for them and when they expand is a bit shorter. And then also, let's see. Oh yeah, we actually fixed a bit of the frostbite, made it a bit brighter and easier to see with the trails. So, because some people were complaining that if you had a certain skin on the frostbite, you weren't able to see it as well. So hopefully we've made that a bit better. Smoke bombs, that's a really interesting idea too. So, and yeah, if you don't know and you're not in it, you should join the Blaston Discord, because we have a few channels there which are called for suggestions for different things. And so a lot of the community gets involved there to kind of suggest things to the devs. Of course, we can't do everything, but it's really nice for us to kind of spark the creativity in the team when we continue to develop the game. Hello, Astral Flames. Nice to see you here. A nice Charizard emote in the chat as well. Yes, and we also lowered the throw damage to the nades. So a lot of people would, instead of detonating the grenades, they could throw the actual nade itself onto people. So instead of, it kind of counteracted how a nade worked. So we made the damage of that a bit lower. Yes, and yeah, if you join the Discord, you meet Crazy Kai and hear about their ideas. We also, I don't know if people actually notice this too much, but we actually changed a lot of things in the main menu. Like if you've played Blaston for a long time, this is actually a really good thing of making things look nicer. So on the weekends these days, we have challenges in the game. It's almost like a ladder, pretty much, where you have a few chances and you can win blasts. It looks so much better now. I'm so happy for the work that our UX and UI person has been doing for this, because it just makes everything look so much or more understandable. Let's see here. Yes, so a bunch of things was added, and now let's take a look at, I think I actually can do this so it looks a bit better. Oh, this looks way better. But I can like take a look at this first. So this was the tier list that I did the last time. Now this almost feels like a blast to the past, doesn't it? Because it's like so, it's so different to what we're used to now, and especially now last weekend we had the Blaston Cyber Cup, which was hosted by Divergent Media. Super well-run event. It was super fun to both play in and commentate some of the matches. But we saw how some of the top players have adapted to the new meta, and this, maybe pointing in this direction, is not at all the same as what we know now. Did you make sure to fist bump the guy that made the pumpkins? The pumpkins? Oh, you mean the one that was posted on the Twitter? I have not fist bumped her yet, but I should probably do that. That was a really cool pumpkin that we posted on Twitter. Kind of hacks his face there. But yeah, so there's a lot of things that kind of look different now, I would say, knowing how things have changed. This looks like an entirely different game, I have to say. It's kind of crazy. So we're gonna switch over to this. All right, here we go. Okay, in what end do we begin with? Do people in chat have any opinion? By the way, I have to note that when I posted this in the Discord the other day, I was like, oh, I'll do another tier list. Tilbet, who is the game designer and the main person who is kind of balancing these things, is like, oh my god, what are you doing? Why would you put this pressure on you? For me, I love to see how kind of we go with the discussions of the game and see how the opinion of the community at the same time as I'm trying to figure it out as well. Yes, all right. Let's see, which end should we start with? All right. Again, I keep looking to the left because there's a huge TV here with everything on it. But I think we can go with probably the clearest winner of them all currently in the current meta, which is probably the Avalanche Nade. The Avalanche Nade is super strong right now because of how the Avalanche Nade has kind of, how can I say it? The meta right now is very fast. So in the previous update, a lot of the matches were kind of going more against timeouts. These days, because there's so much heavy DPS and fast shooting rates, the Avalanche Nades, if you can get the pellets to become small cages, and in these types of fast matches, you can do a ton of damage. And we saw that in the Cyber Cup. So I'm gonna just put that in S for now. And yes, as Bounty says as well, the Swarm is definitely also still, or not still, what am I saying? It's also in the S tier. I would almost suggest that the Swarm is better than the Avalanche, but we don't need to go that deep yet. So if you're new to tier lists, the leftmost weapon is the strongest one and the rightmost is the weakest one within that column. That's how it usually works. I'm hoping we can do it in that way. It might be difficult. I would... oh yeah, and the links unfortunately get deleted in chat there, but I can definitely... I think I know which one that you're looking at. So another clear, I would say, loser in this meta would probably be the Hurricane. It just can't keep up with how fast everything is right now. So It's almost like it switched places with the Nova Hurricane. Isn't that weird? Do you remember how we talked about how the Nova Hurricane wasn't that good? It feels like the Hurricane is in that spot now. It's just not very fast, and it's just the setup that we were used to when we can shoot them up in the air and like have them rain down. It's just like the match is over when the things are falling, you know? So no, I don't think it got nerfed too hard. It's just that in the current meta, it just feels a bit weaker. I would almost put it, let's start with C and see how that feels like. See what I did there again. I think that the Frostbite is still pretty good. It's still a viable option for sure. I don't think it has changed that much. It's just the meta around it, right? Let's put it in A for now. The Vector is definitely one weapon that rests in pieces, I would say, unfortunately. That, like, if anything, the Vector was one of the weapons that had like the strongest kind of... We saw it in almost every build. People were finding different ways of using it. Now it kind of got... I think it had less projectiles, like less ammo in the clip, right? Which makes it very hard to kind of utilize in a effective way or efficient way. It's very niche, I would say. So, was it just the speed? Was it? Didn't we lower actually how much ammo is in it? I feel like... Yeah, bigger... Yeah, okay, yeah, it was the cooldown, slower speed, less damage. Yeah, it's like... It was a big oof, I would say. It's almost... I would probably put it here along with the Hurricane. Let's see here. What should we go? I think... Which one should we go with? Maybe let's go with the Quicksilver. Okay, this is a touchy subject. But yeah, the Quicksilver is so strong in this current meta because you can combine it and just out DPS people. Like in the... I think why it became stronger compared to the previous meta is that the previous meta you had all of these setups, you had all of these combos that were a bit slower, but if you try to set up your Quicksilver or like a player with a Quicksilver, you would get trapped into these combinations. And now the Quicksilver works with the faster meta even better, so it can kind of outspeed those setups, I would say. So I would probably put it in A. Oh man, the Vandal, that's hard. I think the Vandal is pretty like it's pretty good. Like you can shoot nades away. You can deal damage to bunkers. And I don't know, it's just in general feels like a really good option right now because it's almost because of how good the Avalanche Nade is that it's a good counter to it, because you really don't want an Avalanche Nade to be popped in the current meta. So I would almost... Would it be A? No, maybe B? I think B would be fine for Vandal, right? It's still a defensive tool, but it's... So you're not doing any damage, but... I don't know. Let's put it there for now. Let's see what people are... oh wait, did I say D? I meant B. Let's say say D tier before Wesso gets... Oh yeah, for the Quicksilver. Yeah. I think the Super Majestic is really interesting too. Blinding is offensive. That's very true. You can use the Vandal to blind people if you shoot them in the face. And as Bounty says, the Vandal remains weak against bullet hell loadouts, and very much right now it's still weak against the Swarm. Like it really can't take out the Swarm pellets like you'd want it to. So since the Swarm is so active, like if it could take care of the swarm, I would put the Vandal in A. Just saying, I'm just putting it out there. I think that would be the game changer. As for Super Majestic, it's really strong too because of the meta again, but it has such a high cooldown that I would most likely put it at the end of A. Almost AB, I think. The swarm is relatively easy to block on the black hole. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Once the swarm shoots out the part with the black hole, you can take care of it. But once it becomes a cluster, it's very difficult for the Vandal to take care of. Let's see here. The Lansnade. I don't know. I feel like it's close to the Vandal. You can still... you know, cut people off. But it doesn't feel as strong. Like, once you figured out where the usual locations for the Lansnade is, and that you can't really combine the Lansnade well with the current meta, yeah, it's hard. I feel like at the end of B... Why is the Hurricane and Vector so low? That's just my opinion. Should we just go into nades? We should probably just get into nades, right? Wait, why did I forget why did I forget the name of this nade? Help me, chat. Why did I forget the name? Hammernade, what the hell? Hammernade. Okay, so Hammernade. I know what it does. I just forgot the name. Okay, sorry. As I think I'm gonna cheat with chat here, but I think it's B, and it's better than Lansnade because you can confuse people with the Hammernade and the Hammernade and the Avalanche Nade. The pellets look the same. Yeah, too much aquavit. Yeah, I'm drunk here. The Wildcat. I feel like it's still pretty good, right? Like, it has a lot of pellets. It's pretty decent, right? I would probably put it in B. Sorry, wait, yeah, we were doing nades. I'm my what is it? My focus is like attention span is like 3 seconds long. Let's continue with the nades. The Nova Nade. I love the Nova Nade. Oh, the Nova Nade is so good. I love it. But it's not the best, but it's good. I think it's good. I think the Nova Nade. But the Vandal like hard counters it, right? It's like, yeah, the Nova Nade is as Ferret is, VR Ferret is saying in chat. It's so satisfying if people fall for it. Man, this is so difficult. I feel like I'm safing so hard by putting it there. The Majestic Nade is probably one of the worst ones. I would probably... You would put Nova Nade in A tier? Really? Yeah, I mean, it does do a lot of damage. Yeah. But is it better than the... Yeah, I could see it being here, in that case. So... Yeah, at 30 damage is pretty solid. Okay, that's the nades for now. We might put things around. Just keep that in mind. It's not the final say when you put them out. You can always rearrange them. Okay, so the forgotten one, the Nova Helix. It's too slow for the current meta. The Helix tier. I'm sorry, Tilbet. it's just down there. Let's go with the Nova weapons then. He didn't put the Nova nade above the Wildcat. Yeah, I was a bit struggling with the Wildcat, actually. It could be that it's like here, to be honest. It still feels like a really decent weapon. Did we... Wait, hold on. I think we lost the music there, but we're good. Yeah, Wildcat, do what you feel like. Don't listen to these noobs. All right. Okay, so the next one, I clicked in the OBS window instead of actually clicking in the tier maker. Let's go with the Helix weapons, right? Not the Helix weapons, Nova weapons. My God. Nova Hurricane. B tier? It's still like... No, it could be even stronger, right? I feel like it could be at the strongest point of B tier. Because it's like, it does so much damage and it's fast. And in this fast meta, you can like accidentally get hit by it so easily. So I would say it's like at the top of B. It could almost be in A, yeah. Oh my God, some of these are so difficult. Why do I do this to myself? You're right, still, but the Majestic itself? Or wait, are we doing... Is it more... Are there more Nova? Oh yeah, the actual Nova. The actual Nova... I feel like the actual Nova is probably... Shouldn't it be like this? And then the Majestic is actually in C? Like the Majestic nade is not that good, right? Nova is a better shield. Yeah, that's a really interesting take. Is that so? People have been using the Nova defensively. I really like to see how that, or like seeing how that has happened. Yeah, it's a testament, as Bounty says, when you know, when this patch is generally more balanced, when it gets harder to decide how good these weapons are. Bossa Nova, that's a good one. Let's see here. And the Majestic, let's just do the Majestic 2. I think the Majestic is probably in the same vein as the Majestic Nade. I don't know why, it just doesn't seem to do what it's... at least for me as a player, okay? I don't have the absolute truth here, okay? You do note that I'm keeping the juicy shields discussion to the end here. Yeah, but it's weird. So Bounty says in chat, Majestic is low C tier, but we saw Josie using it in the tournament. But it's like, if Josie's using anything, it can look good. So it doesn't really matter. Yeah, no. Yeah, you're right, Wesson. You're right. What am I thinking? It's definitely D tier. Okay, the lance. The two lances, the lasers. Probably in C. Like, you have to have them together to utilize them properly. The Rapide, I know that I got destroyed by the lance in my tournament match on stream, by the way. You don't have to remind me of that. But I think a better player probably wouldn't have done the mistakes that I did. Raptor. Oh my God, this is getting so difficult. Oh my God. All right, let's go with Raptor and Raptor Lips now. Raptor. I feel like it's better than the Hurricane, but it's not better than the Vector, is it? Like, that would be weird. But people have been also using the Raptor defensively, so it could be better. Yeah, it could be better than the Wildcat. But But is it B? No, I don't think it's... Like, if I would go with my gut, I would probably put it here, because I wouldn't say it's better than the current version of the Hurricane, but I feel like the Wildcat still has... it's very difficult. However, the Raptor E, I've seen the utility of it, and like how Oolong is using it is just incredible. Raptor is decent on grenades too. Yeah, that's true. But I feel like it's weird. I want to put the Raptor Ellipse up here. Like, that's where I initially want to put it, because it's like you can curve and catch people off guard. You can use it defensively, offensively. Yeah. Oh wait, no, I mixed them up. I mixed them up. Sorry. They're so tiny on my screen here. Since otherwise, if I looked at the real screen, I would be looking like this, and you wouldn't be able to see my face at all. So that's I have like this screen space on my on my laptop here. By the way, I'm streaming this from a laptop. Can you imagine? At least it curves like the Viper. Oh yeah, and the buff for the what do you call it? The angle. It's weird. It's weird to see them so far apart from each other. But that's just how it feels like right now. All right. Okay, here we go with the hammers. Wow. All right. And this is hard. I don't know where to put the hammers anymore. You would say that it's S? Hammery and Vipery, both S. Yeah, Hammery is still good. I think so too. But it's not S, I would say, anymore. It's still slow, but maybe like here, because I would say that it's better than a Quicksilver though, right? Regular hammer almost replaced by Swarm. Yeah, I don't see a lot of use for the regular hammer right now, at least. It still has like, I mean, if you use it with you can use the regular hammer with Quicksilver, which you can't do with the Swarm, but it's still like, it's still not. Hammer is actually a decent Swarm level 3 counter. I didn't think about that. Let's see, hammer, where do you go? What the hell, it can't be better than the Wildcat. Oh my god, I'm like confusing myself so bad in this one. Like, I have to be honest, this is probably the most difficult tier list I've had to make since we started doing these. It's like, the more I know about the game, the less I understand how to make a tier list. Do you understand what I mean? Like, it's harder each time for me, because I'm thinking about more and more of the combinations. Oh man, because now it's like, why the hell is Wildcat that far down? I feel like Wildcat is probably better than... But is it though? Is it better though? Like, now I feel like I want to do this. Somehow this feels better now. I can't explain it. Let me give me a second to think about that while we go with the others. So let's go with the Vipers. Viper E is still like a difference maker. I would probably put it in S with the capable hands. It's still so good. However, the regular Viper I would think is good now. I feel like we've done a good job in like kind of pushing both of them, but in like different directions, so that like they both have their strengths. Yeah, so I think. So if regular Viper, I feel like it has almost a similar utility to the Raptors, if that makes sense. Like you can use, maybe not defensively, but like it's to make a path for you, right? And that's what the Raptors do too. Wesso keeps writing about the vector, but I've already changed it. Regular Viper and Raptor have a spawn advantage in a high spawn build, or low cooldown build, I guess what you're trying to say. Viper E above Hammer E, yeah. It's difficult. You can snipe a nade with Viper and it'll delete it. That is very true. So I almost feel like this mid section of B is like where you can use it defensively and offensively. All right, here we go with the shields. Let's take a final look after this tier list afterwards and see where we get. But the shields, oh boy, the shields did not have a good time in this update. Of course, they're still useful. It's just harder to utilize them. Like what is it? The timing of them is much more stricter. Like you have to be real, and we saw that in the Cyber Cup. So evidently, is that if you don't use it in the correct timing, then you're pretty much screwed, because then you just use the shield and then it disappears and then you get like killed. So let's put these shields, but they're still useful. Super Majestic, is it? It's probably better than the Nova Nade, right? I don't know what happened there, but the shields, I can't tell them apart as well, but I probably would put them somewhere here. Like they're weaker, but they're not like, you still almost need them. I think I'm getting so unsure, guys. Like this is so bad. The bunker. I feel like the bunker is strong now. I feel like the bunker is really strong right now. Why is Majestic D when Josie used it? I feel like it's not that strong, but Aegis is S and Cortex is A. I feel like the bunker is probably... Oh boy. It's better than the other shields, right? So it's like, it has to be an A, but it's like, is that a fair assessment of it? Alright, let's have another look here. So I would categorize these as like, so I think a lot of people, again, they misunderstand the different columns of the ranks in tier lists. So it doesn't mean that S is like God tier and D is like trash. For me, when I look at a tier list like this, I think of viability. So if you have the S tier, it's like you almost have to have this in your loadout to stay competitive. While as in the D rank, it's like it's a niche area where you have to like really make your loadout build around this to make it work. So it's not like mechanically bad. It's just that it requires. But in that case, it's like, yeah. All right. So with that in mind, I probably would raise the hammer E because yeah, it's like really useful. The Quicksilver is almost in S tier, but I wouldn't put it in S tier because of how useful it is right now. Let's see if there's any weird ones here. I'm like thinking so hard about this. You don't understand. I'm like losing track of time looking into this. Is the Snowball S? I don't know. I feel like it's hard to use the Snowball these days. I guess it could be in the bottom of S tier. But then it's almost like this is like you just use the build here for the S tier. The nades, I feel like the nades are pretty much in a good spot here. Potentially like that the Nova is better than these two nades. The Wildcat, no, not Wildcat, what am I saying? Vector. Don't listen to VR Ferret. You made Overlord before him, Defur. Okay, Sloyd. I'm just... yeah, I mean, I am trying to figure it out together with the community, so it's not like I'm getting coerced into like doing something. I listen and I take it in and then I think about it and then I make a decision. Let's see here. This feels pretty decent. I almost would say... the Hurricane is... The Hurricane would be... Wasn't the Hurricane would be better than the Hammer, right? That's the only one that feels a bit weird. I'm trying to think of the Majestic now because people were writing about it in the chat. It feels like people were saying that the Majestic was like stronger than it is. I can't... Like, what type of build would you have to use with the Majestic to actually make it work now? It feels hard for me to imagine. That's the only thing. I guess the traps would be a good thing. Maybe that we bring it out of D tier, actually. And it would probably be stronger than the Grenade. Because... No, wait, no, it's probably less, because it's like, you can be a bit more unpredictable with where the Majestic Nade... This looks so sad for the Nova Helix. It's like the gang hanging out, and then the Nova Helix is like sitting by themselves at a like small table or something. You have the elite S rank, and then you have the gang in the middle, and then Nova Helix at the bottom. All right, I think we kind of did it, right? I don't know. This is gonna be interesting to see. I'm curious to see the reactions in Discord and see everyone else's tier list, because you can just make your own tier list and you can save it, like pressing this button. There you go. And then you save it. It's that easy. I can actually just copy it here for the Discord. You can make your own tier list by just Googling Blaston tier list and continue the discussion. I'm really curious to see what people are saying in the community, because I felt like I've learned so much about the game and the meta in the previous tournament, the Blaston Cyber Cup. So that's pretty much it. I think if anything, we'll continue this discussion in the, what's the channel's name again? Strategy discussion. So I'll just paste in my my picture here, and then people who haven't watched the stream, they will have no context for me just posting this. But thank you so much for tuning into this. This was really fun. I've been looking forward to doing something like this. As you can see, the stream overlays and setup is not as it quite used to be is because I've changed my setup and we're back at the offices again. But we will be looking to do some more streams where we can take a look at the queue again sometime soon, hopefully, and do hopefully some more fun things. We're still, working hard at the next update of Blaston. We hope that you're enjoying the quick draw update. It's been so much fun to see everyone use it. We're of course already on the next update and working as hard as possible to get that out there. To get more information about that, you should, if you haven't already, follow us on Twitter. I would prefer, but you can also, because I just love Twitter the most, but you can of course also follow us on YouTube and on Facebook as well, and join our Discord to get the latest updates. So thank you, and I'll see you sometime soon, hopefully. So see you next time in the next stream. Bye bye.